welcome to another episode of Ozfish. Dave here, let's get some. I'm out solo on the boat today. I'm out on a Jewfishing mission in the river. So I've just been outside and caught a heap of live baits. I've got about 30 liveys in the live bait tank, so she's chocker. I'm out a little bit earlier than I would have liked today, but the only reason why I'm out is because I wanted to get outside and get some liveys before it got too nautical outside. At the end there, it was really, really windy, probably about 20 knots from the northeast there, but luckily there was no swell, so yeah, it wasn't too bad. I'm going to fish the running tide today. Might fish up on the bridge, just see how I go in the daytime. Fish up to about 6:30, it's the top of the tide. Then I'll have a bit of a cruise around and wait for the tide to turn, and I might fish 2 or 3 hours in the dark on the run out tide and just see if I can sting a few dew. So let's see what happens. Come with me on the ride. Let's catch some Hunter River Jewfish. So here's a little tip for you as well when you're outside. When you're out in the tinny and it's blowing really, really strong wind and the boat's drifting really, really fast, I don't have a spot lock on this boat, so you should be pretty wet on the spot lock. I should imagine if you did put the electric down with a spot lock and tried to stay in place, you take a fair few over the bow in the tinny. But what I do when it's really, really windy is I just use a really heavy sinker. So this is a size 2, like bottle shape, like sinker, a little bit like a snapper lead, but it works fantastic like in heavy weather and really, really windy because it's really heavy. So it does two things. You come over the sounder, you see these big schools of bait, and you just drop this heavy sinker over the side, and it just gets immediately down like into that school really, really quick before you drift off them. And what it does, it keeps the bait jig like really, really straight, which is really good. And then when you do hit the fish, they're quite big yellowtail out there today. So what happens is when you hit multiples of big yellowtail, that heavy sinker just keeps your bait jig really, really straight, and it prevents a lot of those tangles where the yellowtail is swimming back up the bait jig. So yeah, if you're outside and it's really, really windy, just up that sinker size and it works fantastic. And so the wind's really strong here from the northeast. Tide's running in, the wind's going the different direction to the tide. So it always makes it difficult to anchor. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fish with 2 rods. What I'm doing here is, this is my teaser. I call this my teaser. So I've got a really big heavy sinker to hold it on the bottom, and the biggest yakka that I caught today. And I'm going to put him out there. He's going to be my caller or my teaser. Lots of vibration. Hopefully he'll draw Jewfish, you know, up off the structure. And what I do is, I thought what I do today is, when I'm Jewfishing, I always use overhead reels. But today I've got like 3 spinning outfits set up, just from rods and reels I had sort of laying around the house, just mix and match them the best I could. But yeah, I'll just see how it feels with a spinning rod. Oh wow, that heavy demon blood rod, that certainly throws a lot of weight. I've never used my snapper racks before, so anyway, I'll just see how they go. Like, this is a totally different thing for me when I'm Jewfishing. Normally it's all overheads and out of the rod holders, but I'll just try them snapper racks and that spinning outfit just to see how it goes. And oh, something had a look at the yellowtail end. Yeah, what'll happen when you're fishing the bridges, you know, you get a lot of small dew up here, and yeah, they'll hit those yellowtail. And yeah, like that one there, they'll hit him. Oh yeah, he's going. Got something there. Small jib. Whoa, lively. There you go. Tiny fella, probably about 55. he's only a tiny little fella. About 55. Yeah, so beautiful little Jew. That's like a 62. So yeah, that's a beautiful little Jewfish, and he's caught early in the day. He's a 62 centimetre fish, and that's the first ever Jew I've actually caught out of the boat, live baiting for Jew using a spinning outfit in the snapper rack, and yeah, it worked really good. The only problem is there's no ratchet on the spinning reel, so really got to be vigilant, keep an eye on them rods. But anyway, worked good. Where's your mum? Send your mum and your dad, let's get some. I'm not sure whether you can see that, but if you're ever wondering what a bait looks like when a Jewfishers grab it, you can see those tiny little grab marks on him, you know, like that. Even around this side, you know, like that. So they don't do a huge amount of damage to the yellowtail, but they definitely, you can see that bottom and top jaw and how they're grabbing that fish. Yeah, there is one advantage of having 4 rods out with live baits on them, is that them liveys are kicking really hard. They put a lot of vibration out in the water, and yeah, you've got more chance of like drawing some Jewfish into your spread. So if you can lay on the anchor, pretty cool. Sometimes you can't do it because of the wind and the tide and that, but I can just get 4 rods out today. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, I'm going to persevere for a little while with the 4 rods out and maximum vibration and get them Jew coming up into my spread. I've already got my big mega teaser livey out, so if I get a hit on that one, it's going to be a big dog. But anyway, we'll see what happens. The beauty of the snapper racks is that yeah, when you hit a fish, you can just move your rods around. Pretty cool. It's always way more hectic when you're on your own solo Jew fishing, multiple rods out, but yeah, big flathead. Oh. Some panic, he went through the net. Oh wow! There's a hole in the net and Floody went straight through it. I had to like comfort lift him into the boat. Look at that! Got a small hole in my net. That was enough for him to punch through. About a fish, about 65. A little bit over 65. Not too bad a fish, like a 67. So hit that yellowtail and then came back for it and sort of like smashed it. So yeah, cool. You can go home. Yeah, man. What I've done is I've just like re-anchored because it's a very dangerous place to be initially. What's going to happen is the wind's blowing really hard from the northeast. The tide's going to get slower and slower, and what's going to happen is, yeah, that boat is just going to swing around. So where I'm positioned here, hopefully I'll kind of swing around. I'll be able to fish that top of the tide just out off the edge of the sticks and see what happens. If I'd have stayed in the same spot, yeah, I would have just drifted away into no man's land. So yeah, it's worthwhile just pulling that anchor, repositioning, trying to put yourself in the best position, you know, like as the tide begins to slow down. But where I'm at the moment is pretty risky, so I'm going to have to really clamp down on a good Jew if I get one. But anyway, see what happens. There's a fish. Scared the shit out of me. Not a real big fish, but a fish nonetheless. So I'll take him. You know, like it's been pretty tough fishing on the run-in tide. Like we've got a 62 centimetre Jew and we've got a 67 centimetre flathead. This fish hit me really hard. This fish is probably 75, 80. So circle hook pinned him right in the corner of the mouth there. So let's get him on the brag mat. Get him back. That fish went 76, really lively. Let's get him back. All right, well, I fished the running tide on my own solo. And I ended up catching a 62 centimetre Jew, 67 centimetre flathead, and right on the turn of the tide there, just as I was about losing hope, I got smashed by a 76 centimetre Jew, and man, he hit me really, really hard. So what I've done is I've gone down and gave Brandon a call. He wasn't keen the other day, but when I rang him, he said, yeah, all right, mate, I'm on it, Dave. So I picked Brandon up at the boat ramp around about 7 o'clock, and we've slowly ticked up the river. The tide's turned and running out now. So Brandon and I have been fishing the bridge a lot on the run-in tide, but tonight I thought I'd just experiment and fish the run-out tide. So we'll see how we go on the run-out tide and see if we can catch any Jew. But what I've done today is I've made up some spinning outfits, and I've got 3 spinning rods out. I don't usually fish with spinning rods at all when I'm Jew fishing. I usually fish with all overheads. But yeah, there's got some, they feel pretty good, you know, like snapper racks I've got on my boat work really good with the spinning outfits. And one advantage I did notice was that they do cast really well. You can get a lot of distance when you build a big snapper lead and a yellowtail out on the spinning rods. The only thing is that like they're silent. Like these overheads, when they go off like a gunshot. But the spinning reels, when they go off, they're actually silent. They just load up on the snapper racks. You see your rod loaded up, but there's no sound with them. So yeah, you got to be pretty vigilant and just keep an eye on your rods and that sort of thing by like that. But anyway, so hopefully we'll probably fish till maybe about midnight, and hopefully we'll catch some Jew. Hopefully we'll get a couple of metre fish to run out tide just for something different. And you might even notice, check this out, Brandon, I've got this new addition to the boat I've made up at home. Like this is for filming in the night time on the GoPro. So it's what the pros would use. The pros would have something made up better than this, but basically when they're working of a night, pulling their mesh nets or fishing of a night, they'll have a big pole with a light over the deck. So yeah, this is just plugged onto my big battery up the front, and it's got a dimmer at the thing. You can go really bright or you can go really light on it. But yeah, I'd say, and I'll test it at home. When it gets dark, man, it really lights the boat up. So hopefully when it gets dark, be good for nighttime filming. Hopefully we'll be able to get a couple of good Jew and test it out. All right, let's get on it. Jew, Brandon.
Yeah.
It's only a little tacker.
This one?
Hit on that one.
Yeah.
Little fella. Going up current hard. Come back, come back, come back. Ooh, they're lively, them little ones, aren't they? Working, mate.
Yeah, looks good. The background looks really cool too.
Yeah, a little tiny tagger. Hit him on the spinner rod. The spinner rod feels pretty good. See how it's silent? The rod bends over the snapper rack and then you just don't hear anything. But anyway, we'll get him back. That's me third Jew for the day. Small Jew, Brand. Just get the boat already. Wow. Wow. 'Cause he's lively. Oh, oh, oh. Wow! I was trying to hold him really gentle, but he wanted to go.
Pulled a little drag at the beginning.
Oh, he's a little bit bigger than the one I caught, Brandon. Just a little bit. Yeah. Let's get him on the brag, mate. Yeah. What is he?
68 almost?
68. All right, get him back. Let's bridle rig up. Let's get out there again. Show me, man. Yeah, man, a 68. That's the, yeah, get him back. Okay, another little tip for you when you're live baiting for Jewfish. What you've got to do is you've got to be really vigilant in relation to your baits, like particularly in areas like where there's lots and lots of like other fish like bream and squire and all sorts of things will hit your baits like really quick. So what you got to do is, yeah, keep an eye on those rods all the time. Be really vigilant in relation to checking your baits. Like if you're fishing and you see your rod bounce, 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 and then it gets whacked a couple of times and bends over but you don't hit a fish, just wait for a minute or two and then wind in immediately. And quite often what you'll find is that smaller Jew and sometimes bream have just killed your bait. Up here, like you get small Jew kills your bait like really quick. So don't just sort of get really lazy and just stick your you know, your rods out and see them bounce and go like this, you know, like because you want, you know, premium, you know, live baits out there to catch Jewfish. I've got you know, I caught about 30 live baits today, so I've got plenty of live baits. So what I'm doing is, yeah, I'm just being really vigilant. Me and Brandon are just really checking our baits, and we're just putting fresh baits out. And yeah, you'll catch a lot more Jewfish if you do that. So don't get lazy. Smaller fish?
Yeah, it feels pretty small.
Oh, he's a little fella. He's cracking. Yeah, another nice little Jew, man. You know, that's about 8 Jew we've caught. So, yeah, another silent strike on the spinning gear, Brandon, isn't it? Gonna be really watching those rods. I tell you what. All right, throw it back. Jeez, it took us a while to get that bite, Brandon, didn't it?
Yeah, that would have been a solid hour or more.
This just goes to show you, Brandon, when you're Jew fishing, the idea is just like persevere, persevere, persevere. Just keep going. Like, keep going. You know, like, and eventually, yeah, in some stage of the tide, you'll hit it. Look at that hook just popped straight out, eh? Just unbelievable. Circle it.
Almost spot on.
Oh, 64.
Yep.
You just got to, when you're holding these Jew up, eh? They're so green, they're so come to the boat so quick. You just got to hold them really light, not to stress them. But yeah, there's another fish. So that's 9 Jewfish. Me and Brandon are going to fish till we get 11. So I hope that's before midnight. Let's go. Yeah, so it's really interesting, like when you're live baiting for Jew. I think what's happening is, like, you seem to get flurries of activity, and the only thing I can conclude is that there must be like small schools of Jew, and they must be working their way along the bridge and the pylons. They must be travelling from east to west, and they're just cruising along, hunting and feeding. And because what happens is you seem to catch 2 or 3 or 4 Jew like in a really short period of time, and then all of a sudden what'll happen is you'll have no activity, and you'll just be talking to your mate, and you'll sit there for half an hour, 35, 40 minutes, and then all of a sudden you'll just get another flurry of activity. So yeah, I'm just assuming that there must be just schools of Jew just moving up and down along the bridge, and sometimes they come into your spread of live baits, and that's on. That's what I reckon. How was that, Brandon? Like, Jew came on, small Jew came along, bent the rod right down and let it go. I just hung onto the rod, just hanging there, and I felt it, oh, another Jew, probably a bit bigger, come back and just go, whoosh. And one thing about Jewfish is it's really strange, like when you hit, even though it's a smaller Jew, when you hit Jew, even though the tide is running out, flat out, they want to get their head into the current, they want to go up current on you when you bite them, which is good because they're coming away from the sticks. The bigger ones will get you on the sticks. But it's interesting using a spinning rod and reel. They feel pretty good, actually. You can just sort of like tuck them up under your arm, and nice one. So yeah, a little bit better fish, probably close to 70. But what happened to Brandon and I was we were anchored up in a particular spot, and we caught a few small Jew there, but it had gone really quiet. So what I noticed was there was a lot of pelicans over on this side of the bridge. So what we did was we just immediately moved, redeployed to drop the anchor to where the pelicans were. We'd been here no more than 5 minutes and went straight onto a Jew. So yeah, don't muck around, you know, if you're out there fishing and you see signs of life, you know, pull the anchor and move. Let's get a quick measurement and get him back, eh? Yeah, like 73, nearly 74. Nice little fish. Let's get another one. I think that's about 7 Jew.
at him.
Circle will come out easy. 75. Legal fish. 74? Yeah.
Yeah, not a bad fish.
Yeah, another legal fish. So that's our 10th Jewfish for the session, Brandon. Mate, and what I'm going to do is, yeah, man, I'm just going to fish for 10 more minutes, see if we can get 11. But, yeah, I know I'm getting a little bit greedy, but yeah, that's 10 Jewfish, so, yeah, 74. So nice, man. All right, spear him in. All right, well, that's a wrap for this session. This has been a long session. Like, I went out at about 1 o'clock today and went out to try to beat the nor'easters, so I wasn't too rough, and filled my live bait tank up full of live bait. And then what I did was I came up on my own and I fished the run-in tide on the bridge there, and it wasn't too bad. I got a 62 centimetre Jewfish, I got a 67 centimetre flathead, and right on the turn of tide there I got a 76 centimetre Jewfish, so it wasn't too bad. And then I motored down the river and picked Brandon up at the wharf at about 7 o'clock, and we came back up the river and we fished the whole of the run-out tide, and Brandon and I have caught like another 7 Jewfish on the run-out tide, so it hasn't been too bad a session. So out of the 10 Jewfish we've caught, I'd probably say about 4 of them at least, 4 to 5 of them, about 4 of them have been legal fish. A lot of smaller fish there, you know, mixed in amongst them, but still, you know, like, it's been good fun, you know, caught 10 Jewfish. Brandon and I are about to call it quits. It's right at the bottom of the tide now. So what I did today was, yeah, I really wanted to try out some like spinning outfits, because I've never Jewfished with the spinning outfits when I've live baited. I've always used overhead reels. So today I've been using, you know, like 3 spinning reels out, and I've had 1 overhead reel out. And I've caught fish today on both rods, on the overhead and the spinning reels. But I have to say the spinning reels were really effective. They work really good on the Jew. They're really enjoyable to actually use, nice and comfortable. And it seems to be one advantage of them is they do cast a live bait and a heavy snapper lead really well. These are heavy rods. This is an awesome Demon Blood rod, expensive rod, but you know, rated at heavy, so it's good for Jew fishing. So that's been really interesting. The only downside Brandon and I found using the spinning reels is that they have very little drag on them. So when you get hit by a Jew, you don't really hear anything. You just got to really watch your rod tips, and you'll hear the snapper rack first, if anything, just shaking in the gunnel of the boat as the rod goes flat. But even the snapper racks, I haven't used them before, you know, when I've been Jew fishing, but yeah, the snapper racks are awesome. They work really great, you know. So it's about 12:30 at night now, mega long session. So Brandon and I are going to wrap it up, head back to the boat ramp. So just remember, if you like the content that I create, you like the videos that you're watching, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the notification bell, you know, send me a comment if you like. It just helps with the algorithm, and it just makes the channel grow. So until next time, this is Brandon and Dave signing off, and always remember, let's get some.